Hey y'all, how you doing today? All right, back out in the garage as you can see, but I got a little job that's just a quick little thing I wanted to make a video on. I don't think I've made a video about this stuff, uh, but if I have, hey, it's good information and it's worth repeating. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about. Just go ahead and flip. Here we go. K&N air filters or K&N style air filters. Now this is a cotton gauze type material under under the wire mesh. Okay, so you have a wire mesh and then you have a cotton gauze material in there. Now it's pretty much the same thing inside here. There's a wire mesh that's captured. There's basically two layers of that wire mesh capturing the cotton gauze material. Now some do's and don'ts. One, no solvents when it comes to cleaning this. Okay, so carburetor cleaner, brake parts cleaner, anything like that, no. You don't want to do that. I've had these air filters for 20 years. Not this particular one, but I have had some for 20 years. And every time I clean them, I just clean them with like some sort of soap, some sort of degreaser type stuff, something like this. And that works wonders. Another thing, you want to use your water hose to help clean this out, not your pressure washer. So no pressure washers. That's not going to work. Okay, so K&N makes a specific soap for this to clean these with, but I have found that this kind of stuff here works pretty good too as well, so you can do either one. K&N also has a spray oil that comes out of an aerosol can. It's just a small aerosol can. You just spray it on there and try not to get too much on there. Okay, but I've already sprayed this down with the soap, and it's been sitting here for 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the water hose and then need to let it dry. So let's see. Just simple. Nothing real complex here. I guess it would help if I turned the water on, wouldn't it? So I'll be right back. All right, y'all, we're back. You want to do this, with a regular water hose. You can see all the crud coming out of there. I don't think this one's been cleaned in a long time. So you can blast out from the inside out like how I'm doing. And which is actually really good, because the air is coming in just the opposite of what I'm doing here. So any bugs or dirt or leaves are getting blasted out. Okay, so now I probably should have showed you that beforehand. You can see right here, you can see some crud. See, stuff like that. It gets kind of stuck in there. Sometimes you have to go at it from the outside and blast that stuff loose. See, there's stuff coming off. So All right, I think we're about as clean as we're gonna get here with this. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think. Now, you're gonna need to let this dry probably for several hours. If you're like a lot of people, you don't have time for that. Keep another air filter laying around that you can put on just in case you need to drive your vehicle. What I tell a lot of folks is to do this at night, or in the evening before, after they came home from work or what have you, and they're not going to go out anymore. So I'll tell them to do that so that they can put this over, in front of a fan, a heat vent, or something like that, and then it can be, the air can be blowing through it and drying it all out. I would not use compressed air to clean this or dry this out. So, just a good idea, don't do that. Yeah, so you need to make sure and get this thing very, very dry, cleaned out. And need to make sure and do it whenever you're, do it when you don't have to drive the vehicle. Okay? Now, do these make a difference on a vehicle? Yes, they do. They do make a difference. It is not like but they probably won't make much difference as far as fuel economy. Okay? At least not for a while. It may take the computer in your vehicle a little while to learn how to, learn the airflow characteristics of this thing, for lack of a better term, because lots of times I've noticed that, you put this on a vehicle, and then all of a sudden you figure out, it takes a little while for the computer to figure out that, this thing's able to get more air, than what it ever was once before. And, depending on how old your vehicle is, it may take a little while for it to get this all sorted out. I'm not saying I know all the ins and outs about these, but I have owned some of these K&N air filters for a long time. So I know on that truck right over there, which is what this goes on, this is my daughter's truck, and it does make a difference. Now also too, you notice I turned this up like this, and there's a lot of water running out of it, so that's something else too. So wherever you're drying this thing at, make sure you can have the water draining off, and it'll be okay. All right, so maybe if you live in an apartment building or something like that, maybe set this up in a sink or maybe a bathtub or something, I don't know. But yes, make sure this thing is dry. I'll show you that K&N aerosol can of oil to spray on there. Be right back. Okay, here we go. We got the K&N air filter oil. There's part number 990504. It's just a aerosol can of this oil. It's red in color. Common thing a lot of folks do, and I've done it too, is add too much of this. So just a good idea. Try to probably, when this thing's nice and dry, and like I said, it's going to take several hours for it to dry out completely, is add some of this, start spraying this on, but try to be somewhat sparing, I guess. You'll notice when this is on, because this is colored red, so those folks at K&N are pretty sharp, they colored it red, so when you put this on, you're going to notice this is going to be very reddish in color. Okay. Um, I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but this thing was just black all over. And we've had that truck for several months, and this came with it, and we had never cleaned it. So I was like, I got to looking the other day. I was like, yeah, this thing needs to be cleaned. So there we go. But yeah, so you probably see an improvement in power with one of these sooner than fuel economy. So, but when you do start seeing improvements in fuel economy with these, it's probably like when you're out on the highways or interstates. So, but I don't care what kind of vehicle you're driving. Good flowing, free flowing air cleaner system and cool air is always going to make a big difference rather than hot under hood air. So, okay. All right. I think I've covered about everything on this, on how to do this. I will show you a part 2 where I apply this oil on there. You don't want to have, just a quick tip, you don't want to have this dripping out of it. So probably like you want to spray down like one area right here, and then maybe come over here and spray an area, and then come over here and spray an area. Have some gaps right there, and then you'll probably be able to watch it just spread out. You may even want to like say spray up here, back and forth a little bit, and then watch it just drain down. So that's probably what I will do. So anyway, all right. Yeah, let's see. As you can see, all the water is just running down here, and it's collecting down here, and it's running out. So, but yeah, water hoses. So let's recap. Water hose only. No compressed air. No pressure washer. Okay. No solvents to clean it. All right. Some sort of degreaser type soap. Okay. So, something like that. Simple Green, Grease Lightning, anything like that. I think I've heard of some folks even using Formula 409. As long as it's a degreaser, I think you're going to be okay. But I wouldn't use any solvents at all. So like, mineral spirits or paint thinner or, denatured alcohol, anything like that. No. Carb cleaner, brake cleaner. No, don't use none of that. So just, it's a pretty simple formula on how to keep them things clean. And like I said, I've had some for 20 years. Like the one in my truck is 20 years old. I've had it in there that long, and it does make a difference. But like I said, it does make a difference on fuel economy, but the computer takes a little while to learn it. So it may take a month or 2 or 3. It may take a little while for the computer to get to that point where it's figuring out, hey, I've got this ability to breathe a lot more air, the engine does. So I need to take advantage of this, and so they start, figuring that out, but it takes a little while. So, but, anyway, all right, I just want to share this information with you on this quick little video. Furthermore, one more thing. Antifreeze. I did that water pump job here a while back on my daughter's truck. I want to share with you all a inexpensive way to make antifreeze. Now, when you buy antifreeze in a store, let me flip this around here. When you buy antifreeze in a store, this is what you will get. Okay? Yeah, full strength. Okay? And you must add water. Okay? Now, this is the classic green formula, but I have some right here. This is the extended life. But this is concentrate also. You must add water. Okay, so, easy way to do this. Simple, simple, simple. What you do is you take your antifreeze, okay? going to pretend this is an empty jug. Okay? So, don't even pay attention to the 50-50 pre-diluted or nothing like that. You can buy pre-diluted if you want to, but I like to make my own. So what I'll do is I'll get an empty jug, clean, and I will fill it, take this and pour it into the empty jug. Okay? Once I've done that, I pour half of that into the empty jug. Then I'll take the empty jug, then I have 2 half gallons. Okay? Then I will finish filling these 2 half gallons with water. Then I have 2 full 1 gallon jugs of antifreeze. Okay? That's what I will do. That is how I make 50-50 antifreeze. And it's really, really simple, easy to do. Anybody can do it. Okay? Furthermore, when you are doing any sort of work on your vehicle where it involves a cooling system, you're most likely going to have a air pocket. If you have air pockets in the engine, this is especially more common on like newer vehicles where you're going to have, you know, the radiator may sit a little lower than the engine, or they may sit at the same level rather than the radiator sitting higher. But it can be a problem on the older vehicles as well, where the radiator does sit higher. Either way, best thing to do, take the front of the vehicle where the radiator is at, put it up on some jack stands, or put it up on some ramps, put it up on a little hill where the front end is pointing uphill. Okay? That way, when you're putting coolant in, the air has a path to come out. The air is always going to want to come up and go to the top. Okay, so any air pockets that are trapped in the block or any part of the cooling system are going to want to come out. So that's why you do that. Okay, now there are some vehicles that even have little bleed screws in the cooling system to let these air pockets out. Some do not. But anyway, you can use what I told you on any kind of vehicle to help you get the cooling system bled out. Unless, of course, it's an old Volkswagen air-cooled. Okay? Then, but, the other thing is just to make sure that you have, when you are bleeding the cooling system, crank the engine up, let it idle, turn the heat on, make sure you're getting heat out of the vents, okay? So you want to adjust your thing, you know, where it's coming out of the vents. Also, make sure that you're getting that heat out of there, and make sure that it is hot air, okay? Furthermore, make sure that you have the radiator cap off or loose, and keep checking back. Also, keep checking the temperature. Now, myself, what I like to do is when I'm doing all of that, I like to be not very far away from the vehicle, maybe working on something else real quick, and just keep coming back and checking. Every so often, come back and check, come back and check. I don't like to leave the vehicle unattended for long, long periods of time. So I may go over here and do something over here, and I'm working over here, but then I'll run back and go look at the vehicle and check it out and make sure that there's no issues there. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. I really, really super appreciate that. We're up to 140 subscribers, and I thank everyone for subscribing. It is amazing. So I really appreciate that. But also, too, I thank you all for the thumbs up, likes, and shares, and all of that stuff. So really do appreciate that, too. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, you know what to do. Put them down below. I will do my very best to get back to you and help you out. So thank you, and God bless.